You're now listening to I Signed a Marriage Contract with My Ex's Billionaire Boss Episode 2. Don't skip Episode 1. It all begins there. Emma's POV. The Maldives was supposed to be my getaway, my reset button. The soft white sand, turquoise waves, and tropical cocktails, all a gift to tide me over into my renewal. What a pity. Such thoughtfully laid plans had a hard time washing down the bitter aftertaste that was left behind in my mouth. Courtesy Ryan. No number of sunrises seen from my overwater villa helped, so I decided to drink. I drank a lot. I swirled the remains of my drink in my glass as I sat at the bar. My vision a little hazy, but my resolve clear as diamonds. I was going to forget Ryan. That was the objective. The men around me stole glances, some bold enough to smile or nod in my direction. But I wasn't interested. My heart wasn't broken. It was annihilated. No smooth, talking vacation fling was going to fix that. Another, I said, tapping the bar counter. The bartender hesitated, eyeing me warily. Miss, maybe you should... I said, another. I cut him off, my voice sharper than I intended. Just as he reached for another bottle, a voice interrupted, deep and familiar. I think you've had enough. I groaned, rolling my eyes without looking. That I had in mind that it was one of those men watching me, that had the boldness to come forward. Who the hell asked you? My words slurred slightly, irritated, and I was in no mood for judgmental strangers. It's none of your business. I turned to glare at the intruder, ready to give him a piece of my mind. But when my gaze locked onto his, the world seemed to tilt even more than the alcohol had made it. Ryan's boss, the man who'd played along with my impulsive stunt back in the elevator, the man who'd left without even telling me his name. You, I blurted, pointing an accusing finger at him. Ryan's boss. His lips twitched, and with a shake of his head, he leaned in slightly. Liam, he corrected smoothly. Not Ryan's boss. I blinked at him, trying to process, but the alcohol wasn't helping. Right, Liam, I murmured, testing the name on my tongue. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing, he said, his piercing blue eyes watching me too closely, like he was trying to read every unspoken thought swirling in my drunken head. I shrugged dramatically and almost spilled my drink. Vacation, trying to forget. I laughed. It sounded hollow even to my ears. What about you? Bosses don't take vacation, do they? Liam smirked, sliding onto the bar stool beside me. I do when it's necessary. Before I could ask what that meant, he tilted his head, watching me with a calculated look. Since we're both here, I have an idea. I squinted at him, puzzled. An idea? His lips curled in that infuriatingly confident way. Let's continue what we started in the elevator. I blinked at him, the words sluggishly registering. I had forgotten for a moment about our first meet-cute in the elevator. Then I suddenly recalled. The fake fiancé thing? He nodded, taking a sip from his drink like he had just suggested. Something as casual as grabbing lunch. The buzz of the alcohol that had fuzzed my brain all evening momentarily dissipated. Why the hell would you want to do that? I said, scoffing, staring at him like he'd lost his mind. Liam didn't bat an eyelid. Because you want revenge, and well, let's just say having a fiancé would be useful for me. I snorted, waving my hand dismissively. You could just fire Ryan. That'd be sweet revenge for me. Don't you think? Liam's eyes darkened a little. I could do that, he said, swirling the liquid in his glass. But what's in it for me? His words hung in the air between us, and damn it, they made sense in a way I didn't want to admit. As much as I wanted Ryan out of my life, the thought of showing up with his powerful boss on my arm would make him squirm. It was a tempting offer. I tapped my chin, trying to think through the haze in my head. "I'll think about it," I said finally, rummaging through my purse as I brought out some money and placed it on the bar counter. I pushed away from the bar, my hand clutching my purse with shaking fingers. But the moment I stood, the world spun wildly, and I stumbled forward. Before I could hit the ground, strong arms caught me, and I found myself pressed against Liam's firm chest. "Yeah," he chuckled low, the heat of his breath sending a wave of warmth along my ear. "You're definitely in no condition to think about anything right now." I protested weakly, trying to push at him. "I can get to my room by myself." Liam just shook his head, refusing to let go. "No, you can't." Hunching over a little, he spoke softer this time. "Come on, I'll make sure you don't end up passed out on the beach." Despite myself, I let him steer me, my head leaning gently against his shoulder. And for one wild instant I even dared to hope that this insane, reckless idea of his might just be exactly what I need to finally, really forget Ryan. We got into a room. I felt unconscious, and at the same time, I could tell that I had been placed gently on a soft bed. I curled myself up in the blanket. "Why drink so much when you can't handle it?" I heard Liam's voice. It sounded like he was mocking me. "At least I still hear you." "Everything, you say," I said drowsingly before shutting my eyes again. I could hear a bottle cork open. I opened my eyes again. "Accusing me for drinking, but you're busy opening tequila." Suddenly a phone rang. It wasn't mine, but Liam's. "Get some sleep, Miss Emma," Liam said before walking out the door. How did he know my name? I never told him my name. Enough with the blind dates, Dad. I found someone already. I heard Liam's whispering voice from outside the bedroom. Was the someone me? Emma's POV. I was pulled from a deep tequila-induced sleep by the sound of a loud knock. Groaning, I rolled over, burying my face into the plush pillow, willing whoever it was to go away. But the knocking didn't stop. It got louder, more insistent. I groaned, sat up with a pounding headache, and made my way to the door. Opening it a crack, I came upon Liam standing on my porch, infuriatingly fresh in a crisp white shirt. His dark hair mussed, just enough to achieve that bedhead look without looking like he'd actually just rolled out of bed. "My dad wants to meet you," he said, as casually as if it was the most normal thing in the world. I blinked at him, my sleep-fogged brain trying to catch up. "Excuse me? You're what?" Liam was leaning against the doorframe, his arms crossed over his chest, looking way too smug for my liking. "My father. I told him about us. He insists on meeting you. Today." My jaw dropped. What the hell? I never agreed to this. "You fainted before saying yes or no," he returned suavely, his lips twisting in mirth. I took that for a yes. I stared at him in utter disbelief, 1,000 emotions running through me. Shock, anger, frustration. "You, what? You can't just decide things like that for me," I snapped, stepping back into the room and running a hand through my hair in frustration. "This is insane. I don't even know you." Liam shrugged and followed me inside like he owned the place. "You know me well enough to cram a ring onto my finger and claim me as your fiancé in front of your ex. So let's just say you're not one to avoid dramatics," he said, one side of his mouth curling sardonically. I clenched my fists, biting down the urge to scream. "Thank you, Liam," I said in as much sarcasm as I could muster. "Thank you for letting me stay here, for not letting me pass out on the beach. But I'm leaving now." I grabbed my bag and slung it over my shoulder. "Goodbye." Before I could take one step past him, his hand shot out and gently took my wrist. "Emma, wait." I still went at how my name flowed so effortlessly from his tongue. "It's only for a few months," he said softly, his blue eyes searching into mine. My dad keeps setting me up on blind dates with daughters of his business partners. I need him to back off." He paused, his voice dipping lower. "And you need to get back at Ryan." The mention of Ryan made my heart ache with new anger. "I don't need to do anything," I snapped. But Liam's gaze never wavered. "I can make him regret ever cheating on you," he said. Quiet confidence laced through every word. "All you have to do is play along." I stared at him, weighing my options. Fake dating a billionaire for a few months to make my ex squirm. It sounded ridiculous. It was preposterous. But then again, what did I have to lose? I was already here. And the thought of Ryan seeing me with someone like Liam, it was tempting. I exhaled heavily. "Fine," I said after a long pause. 3 months. That's all. 5. Liam immediately shot back. I narrowed my eyes. 4, and that's pushing it. He grinned, looking very pleased with himself. Deal. Liam didn't waste any time. He had everything arranged. He had picked out an elegant, off-shoulder emerald dress that clung to me in all the right places. And how he got to know that this was my perfect size was really questioning. He even arranged for a hairstylist and makeup artist. And before I knew it, I was transformed into someone who looked like they actually belonged in his world. I was done dressing, and as we mounted the staircase that led to his father's dining hall, Liam caught my hand, threading our fingers together. His grasp was firm and warm, and against my will. I found a fleeting sense of security. "Just relax," he whispered, bending close as we neared the dining room. "My father can be intense, but I'll handle him." I nodded, a bit beyond nervous by then. The panelled doors opened into an incredibly tastelessly decorated dining room, with one piece of polished mahogany serving as the table and set with crystal glasses and bright silverware. At the head of the table sat an older man who stared sharply at us the moment we walked in. He was certainly Liam's father. I put up a fake smile. There was no room for suspicions. But my smile turned into a frown. I barely registered Liam's father because standing a few feet away, near the entrance door, was Ryan. My heart dropped into my stomach. What the hell was he doing here? Ryan's eyes went round with surprise when he laid sight on me. His lips parted in some semblance of disbelief. Freezing, I tried to take in what was happening when Liam didn't bat an eye. "This," he said easily, his hold on my hand tightening, "was my surprise for you." I swung him a sharp glance. "You had to be shitting me." My eyes were back on Ryan, who approached us. The stern and confused look on his face was priceless. This was what I wanted, but why did Liam invite him over? Liam's dad started talking, my thoughts disrupted. "You didn't tell me you got yourself an angel boy." Liam's father teased. I smiled, focusing on him now. "Name?" "Emma," I said, pecking the old man. My eyes deliberately glanced at Ryan, who was still in shock. I guess he was speechless because he was in his boss's house, probably too scared to lose his precious job. Suddenly Liam's father's phone rang. "Excuse me, guys. I need to take this. I'll be back," he said. I watched him leave for a moment. "Mr. Matthews, I'm glad you're here on time. You should join us for lunch," Liam said, pulling out a chair for me to sit. "You called me here for business or to showcase that you are now engaged to my ex?" Ryan replied, his voice cold even though he tried to look calm about the situation. I had no idea what was going on here. I refused to sit, shocked at how Ryan replied to Liam, his boss. "I invited you here for business, but it seems like you're still on about your ex." Liam paused, glaring at me for a moment. "If you badly want her back, she's all yours. That's if she wants to be with you again. But then, I don't think. I will be so nice to also offer you the $1 million contract too." Liam was done talking, And now I understood the whole drama playing out here. Ryan clenched his fist. You can keep her. The $1 million contract is way important to me, he replied, his eyes fixed on me. I could feel my heart break for the second time again. No matter what I do, he still won't feel my revenge. But instead being weak, I was even more determined. As long as I am still Emma, Ryan would come back and beg me. The story continues in episode 3.